Hey everybody, this is a video that has actually been requested, so this is for you, Susie. It's been on my to-do list for quite a while, but with day-to-day things, it's just completely slipped my mind, and yeah, it's not something I've forgotten about, but it's just something I wanted to find the right time to do it. So this is kind of like a bit of a day in the life of, but more about what I eat in a day. Now, just to give you some context, when I'm working Monday to Friday, I'm getting up between 5 and 5:30 naturally. Without an alarm, I just get up at that time. I never actually used to sleep very well at all. It was only when I started running I was actually able to get into a bit more of a pattern where I could sleep for a decent number of hours. So the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is I get myself, put the kettle on, I just get myself a hot water. So literally is what it is, boiling water, a little bit of cold water so it's able to drink it. Never really been a tea drinker or a coffee drinker or anything like that. And so the only other thing I would have if it wasn't hot water would be maybe just a green tea, or I've got some tea bags that are like turmeric and that kind of stuff. So nothing too extravagant there. And then the only breakfast I actually have, if I have it at all, because I never used to eat breakfast either, it's only when I started running I got into a bit more of a routine of eating breakfast, would just be some standard oats. So the choices I normally have, depending on how much time, just get some your basic oats like this, which I'll cook up on the stove, or the other option when I'm in a little bit more of a hurry in the morning, and if I choose to eat breakfast, it would just be kind of like some simple sachets, just as this is the original, 2 minutes in the microwave with a little bit of milk, or the golden syrup. So just for ease today, and to make it a little bit simpler, I'm just going to go straight with these ones here. Golden syrup's got a nice little taste to it. So just get myself a bowl, pop the oats in the bowl. This seems very basic, I know. I'm not trying to patronise you here, just going to show you the process anyway. That goes in there. And then I'm using this milk here. Lots of people use almond milk, people use oat milk. The only milk that I really like is this one here, which is a rice dream. And this has got added calcium, vitamin D and B12 in it, so that's always really good. So I've got no idea what the measurement's supposed to be. I think you're meant to fill the sachet then pour it in, but I just tend to guess. So that is that there, and then what I'll do is I'll talk you through all the different toppings and things that I put on top of it, because I tend to turn into a bit more of a substantial meal. You'll see that in a moment. So that's just cooking away, and then I'm just going to get my hot water here. I normally do this literally in this order, so whilst that's in there for 2 minutes, you can see there, hot water goes in. Little splash of cold water, and then I just stand thinking about life. Okay, now what I'm going to put on top of this bowl, also while I'm waiting, I tend to just grab a walnut half or two, eat that. So these are good for fibre, high in omega-3, fatty acids, all that good stuff. I'll also have 1 or 2 pecans. Because it's just a process in the morning, I can just get my head around this a lot easier. Good source of zinc. Now, one thing I've actually run out of are Brazil nuts. I also have 1 of those, or 1 or 2 of those every day. Okay, that's all done. Another thing you can do as well with the nuts is I just like to, over time, gather some nuts together in a kiln jar, sunflower seeds, I don't know what these are, all sorts of random bits and pieces in there. So that's just good again in the morning, just dip into, what else have I got? I think I've got some cashew nuts in there, raisins, and just as quite an easy thing to then get into. They just jab in the cupboard, grab those every day. Right, so porridge is done. Put a little bit too much of the milk in there. Here's what goes on top now. Give it a little stir. Okay, every day. Blueberries. Again, grab a handful of those. No idea how many. I love blueberries, can eat loads of these. Blueberries go straight in. Oh, drop one on the floor. That's always good. That's good news when you drop one on the floor. It's good luck for the day. Chia seeds. Again, sprinkling of those. There are nutritional benefits for all of these, but I don't know them off the top of my head. So chia seeds, hemp seeds. Again, I don't know the amounts of quantities, I just chuck a little bit on of each. Oh, flaxseed, you can see I'm running out of that. You can get different flavoured flaxseed. The one I used to really like had the goji berries in it, but I've run out of that, so that just goes on top. I've also got some cacao powder as well, which gives you additional iron, potassium, copper, magnesium, so it does give it a little bit more of a chocolatey taste. So if it's not your thing, then you probably won't enjoy that. But some cacao powder, and it's cheap as well, so that goes on top. And I've also got, again, this big pot here, just full of like coconut pieces, raisins, berries. I've got some dried banana. I've got some little dry piece of mango, some passion fruit. It's all in there. So I can also sometimes just grab a little handful of these. Nothing in particular. A little handful of those. Pop those on top, maybe a little bit more. So there we go. That's breakfast. And yeah, if I'm going to be having breakfast, it looks pretty much like that. And then I give it a big stir. I'm not a big fan of making too much of an effort with the presentation of it all. I just chuck it all together, which is why I don't see too many photos on my Instagram, because the presentation of my dishes is normally shocking. Give a little mix up. It's too hot now for me to make an effort to eat it. And then what I normally do, that's going on, jump in the shower while this cools down, water's ready to go, porridge ready to go, and that is breakfast. There's no other alternative that I would normally have. That's basically it. It's that or nothing. So I'm gonna hop in the shower now, and I will catch you at lunch. Hey, so I thought I'd just give you a little bit of an update. We are at 10 o'clock now, and some other things that I've got on my to-do list for today. First of all, I'm going to be sorting through in a moment my gels and other bits and pieces that I have for my running, because I did an order recently with a company called xmiles.co.uk, and what's really good about them is you can get a lot of products individually. So normally when you buy gels and you buy, for example, Tailwind that I've got here, they tend to be in packs, or they tend to be in big bags, and often I don't want to buy in that quantity. I just want a couple of things. So I'll show you in a moment my box and what I've got to get sorted in there. I've also got to do my exercises from the physio and check them off on the app. I've not been so good at checking them off on the app, but I have actually been doing them. You'll be familiar with the exercises, and I'll put a little link to those if you've not seen them already. So I've got that to do, the 2 things. I've got to go to the post office, that's 3 things. I'm doing my washing at the moment, that's 4 things, and I'm actually popping into work tomorrow, so we'll get a couple of those kind of logistical type bits and pieces sorted. And I'm also going to be going through my Strava and making sure that the routes are up to date for links 5, 6 and 7, which will be ready as GPX files if I should ever get a watch, which means I can load it onto it, which this current one doesn't. This is a Garmin Forerunner 235. It doesn't allow maps on it. And I've also got an ultra marathon plan document I'm just trying to put together just so I can kind of visualize it. I like to put it up on the wall here. You probably can't see it, but I like to just put things up on the wall just by the door so I can always look at them each and every day. So as it turns out, it's quite a few things to work through. Right. Let's start off with this box of goodies down here. So here's my box. I've a little bit of a sort out here. Over this side, got my Tailwind, the Colorado Cola, which is the new one out at the moment. The one I actually have a preference for, which is the green tea buzz flavour. And I think I've also got somewhere in here, just there we go, look, just the naked one as well. Naked basic flavour. So that's over this side. I've got my Rebuild Recovery Vanilla in the middle there, just to grab. I wanted to make sure I had enough stock of that for my upcoming training. I've got some Spring Energy over here. This is Spring Energy, the McRae Covery. I really like this at the moment. They also sent me a Speed Nut, which they told me was vegan, because unfortunately, annoyingly, some of their products, is it focusing in? Probably not. Some of their products have got honey in them, but this one doesn't seem to have, so that's good. Haven't used it yet, not entirely sure what it does. Got that there. The Canterbury Spring Energy is the gel that I've been using most recently. Underneath here, I've got a load of Huma gels, you can see down there. And underneath all of this, I'll just dig it. Oh, there we go. I've got some Cliff Shots. I bought these in bulk ages ago when they were heavily discounted down to about 20p. So I've got tons of these. Not a massive fan of them. I don't really like the taste because I'm not really a caffeine person, as I mentioned earlier. So that taste itself is pretty disgusting for me. But I have used them before Park Run and actually used it before my spooky sprint the other night. I guess it gives you a boost. Don't really know. It's not really my thing. So I've got those there. I've also got some, I think I've got a lemon one. Let's have a quick check down here. Yeah, there's a lemon citrus shot, sorry. Less on the caffeine, 25 milligrams. The other ones are 100. And I think I've got a Rogue Cliff Shot block. There you are, over there, look. Bought them for my autumn marathon, thinking it was going to be really, really hot. It wasn't in the end. It was that horrible windy day, so I never actually got around to using those. But that's my little box of goodies. And the reason why I like to check for this, just to make sure I've got enough, because that moment when you actually need it and you can't put your hand in it is quite frustrating. And yeah, I just pop X miles there, just remind myself where to get it from. So there's a box of goodies. Job one, done. Hello, it is lunchtime. Okay, I'm going to overlay a quick clip of the way my fridge looks at the moment. Absolutely packed with things, thanks to my shopping spree that I went on yesterday. So first of all, if I was at work right now, what would I be having for lunch? Well, up until this point, I've been going to the local shop and having a pasta bowl or falafel hummus wrap, something pretty simple. Not the best option. So I've been experimenting this week with some dishes that I can make in advance and take to work with me. The biggest issue I have is when I make food in advance, I just eat all of it. So not great. Very tasty, but not a great move for me. Anyway, I'm going to show you a couple of things that I prepped already in advance, which I had yesterday for lunch and was really pleased with. And then I'll show you kind of a ready meal option that I might have chosen today as well. Before I forget, another thing that I've been looking at in the last couple of months really is just making sure that I'm getting all the nutrients and things I need. And one of the things that I know that I hadn't perhaps been getting enough of, and I think a lot of people are probably quite deficient in, is things like iodine. And so you can have that in a tablet form, supplement form. Another way is to have kind of like seaweed sheets or nori sheets and things of that nature. You might want to do a little bit of research into specific products around by you, but you know, once, twice a week, I just grab a little packet of these, about 50p, and the back you can see it says here, high in vitamin B12, iodine, protein, fibre, 2 calories per thin and suitable for vegans. So I just chow down on those as well, just as a little boost. Like I said, you know, it might not be doing a huge amount, but it's a little additional bit of iodine I'm getting into the body. So, what did I make the other day? First of all, let's get a bowl out, because we're going to get filling this bowl. So, I made the other day, a little bowl here of quinoa. It's tri-colour quinoa, so there's a lot of different types in there. At the bottom of this bowl, I've got some cooked tender stem broccoli. So I'm just going to spoon this out now into this bowl over here and just kind of get a base of the lunch going. As it turns out, it looks like I've scooped out most of the broccoli. So what we're going to do is cook a little bit of broccoli now. I am on the lazy side when it comes to cooking certain things. So this broccoli, for example, 2 minutes in the microwave, ready to go. So I'm going to put the microwave in just a sec. Broccoli quinoa box ticked. Something else I made the other day as well is some pasta. So in here I've just got some pasta, some butter beans, which are amazing, and just some chopped tomatoes from our pot. So I'm going to grab another spoon to do this. Do I mix and match? So a little bit of pasta going in there. So now I've got some pasta, I've got some quinoa. This is going to be a bit of a random one actually today because I'm just using up stuff that I've got. So there's pasta, there's quinoa, and what I might do is actually put those two things into one bowl before it goes back into the fridge. I'll do that when it's a little bit less messy. So those two things then. I'm going to grab out an avocado. I don't actually like avocados, but it's kind of one of those things I've got into as a point of just knowing I have to eat it. So avocados there, broccoli there. What else have I got? I've got some tomatoes. Let's grab some tomatoes out. People ask me a lot about the organic situation. The reality is I can't always get organic food, so if it's available and I've got the choice, then yes I do, but if not I don't and I can't, and it's just one of those things. I don't overthink it necessarily. Of course I'd love to buy organic, I'd like to be able to do a lot of things when it comes to food, but the reality is it's not always possible. You can see this lunch is getting pretty random now. Let's put these the broccoli in just a second. Chopped avocado, that's that there. A little bit of spinach. Getting to the bottom of the bag now for spinach, so I just dump a load of that on there. You can see there's no fine art to this. I'm just literally chucking stuff on a plate. I was given these the other day by a friend. These are beetroot falafel with red pepper and chili. Now these are actually ready to go straight out the packet, but I think a little bit of heat's putting me quite important. So I'm going to heat these up now. It takes about 8 minutes, so there'll be a slight delay on this cooking now. 4 of those, and then I'm going to put it all together and I'll show you then what it looks like. I've just run out of it, but what you can do is put a little bit of chili sauce in there if you like it, just to liven things up. So that's what I'm having today for lunch, but what I've got my eye on, and this is what I will have probably later for dinner, actually I'm not going to show you now because that would be a complete spoiler, wouldn't it? But that's typical lunch. What I could also do is heat up some sweet potatoes, which I've got here. Takes a little bit longer to prep and I'm a bit too lazy for that today, so that's not going to happen. Or I could have had soup with a roll as well. So a few different options on the table. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be eating, and I'll show you the final dish in just a sec. And yeah, so without further ado, here's a little showcase of this thrown together vegan lunch. Hey, we have made it to dinner time. Just to catch you up on what's been happening, did my post, did my washing. I actually ended up speaking with my mum, who suggested we go to the gym. So I went down to the gym, did a little bit of running on the treadmill, and then I put on maximum incline and just did about 1 kilometre or so of just general walking. Made sure the pace was enough so I was pushing with my walking. Then I went on to the step machine, or the Stairmaster, whatever you want to call it. Did 65 floors, just over 10 minutes, I think about 12 minutes or so, about 100 steps per minute is what I had the setting on. Got a little bit of a haircut, a little bit of a trim there. There's not a lot left, but I am saving on hair products at the moment and investing that same money into food. So you know, good times there. What we're going to have for dinner then? What is on the menu this evening? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to start off with it's a bit of a miso fest, as you're about to see. Clear Spring Japanese miso instant soup. It is vegan, just in case anybody wondered. Real simple sachet, quite like this occasionally. Once every, I don't know, 2 weeks or so I have one of these. They're really, really cheap. And I just fancied a bread roll basically. I wanted a bread roll with a little bit of butter on it, a bit of vegan butter. So I thought, well, let's get one of these simple soups out. I didn't want a full-on soup with too much going on, just a nice simple soup. So I'm going to have that in a moment, which I'll show you. And then what we're going to have afterwards, oh, by the way, before I forget, I didn't have any sauce to show you earlier on, but this is a sauce that I would have recommended to go on the salad. So this is a product by Blue Dragon. They do a huge range of different products and different sauces, so whatever your preference is, you can find something to suit you. I really like the sweet chili sauce. It's got a nice little kick to it and it's not too overpowering. And if you look at the side here, you will see that it says suitable for vegans and vegetarians. So that's the sauce. I grabbed one of these earlier. This here is a £1.20 and it's what, 350ml? It lasts ages. A little sprinkling on top is all you need. So I thought I'd just show you that. And then for dinner, actually, you know, by chance, looking at the date on here, next on the list is the sticky miso. Miso again, aubergine noodles. I just really wanted to try it. Like I mentioned in my video yesterday with my food haul, I don't really like aubergines, but I wanted to try it. Miso there, miso here, miso everywhere. So got that. Sweet potatoes with that. My broccoli, which I left on the side earlier, didn't have. That was missing from my lunchtime dish. Bit of broccoli, got some kale and a little bit more spinach as well. So generally speaking, a pretty straightforward dinner. Of course, I'll show you a close-up once it's all put together and prepped. But that gives you a little summary of what I eat generally in a day. Now, snack-wise, I'm worse when I'm at work with my snacks. I tend to just be picking up little kind of piece of fruit throughout the day. Oaty flapjack type bars. Yeah, I'm big on sweet sugary things. I'm not good when it comes to that. I've not even thought about what I'm having for dessert. It's probably been pretty limited. There's not a lot here, funnily enough. I lie. I know what I'm having. Okay, I know. Some Callo blueberry and vanilla rice cakes, which again, on the side, I'll just show you. Vegetarian and vegan friendly. Just double check the Callo range, not all of them are. And with that is this here is a dream. The most dangerous of all available spreads at the moment. Suitable for vegans. If you know about these biscuits are one of the treats for any vegan. You get yourself a coffee, which I don't drink, but they come with a little biscoff. Lovely. This is a spread, and well, there's not much left in there. Even the smell, absolutely stunning. So I treat myself to that, and yeah. Oh, also, I guess I should probably mention as well in terms of like supplements and things that I take. I got a B12 one, even though I had some kind of within the milk this morning, which is the rice stream milk I showed you. So I've got that there. I've got an omega-3 as well, which supports heart, brain, eye health. So I've got those two. I've also got this one here, which is the D3, which I think I mentioned before in the video, but I wasn't sure why I got it. And this is about supporting the immune system and bone health. Also vegan as well, specifically vegan, these ones. Just trying to find where it says it on there. It's somewhere on there, that one. And then I will have, because I'm a bit of a baby, I'm not really good at taking tablets, and I never have been. I'd love anything that's just chewable, so I get myself some vitamin C as well. And that's a little combo of things. I just use it to top up. I'm not relying on it. As you can see, the food I'm eating, I try and hit those different vitamins within the food. I've got a pretty good understanding now of the kind of things I need to be eating. It might not be that I have them every single day, but generally speaking, I don't calorie count, I don't check up on how much of this or that is in everything. It's just kind of an overall feel. I'm pretty good at being in tune with my body. But that gives you a summary, hopefully, of what my day looks like. Typically, obviously meals do change and alter, but generally a couple of staples there that you've seen today. That's me, and I hope the video was of some use. Any questions, please let me know down below. Happy to make more of these videos because every day is different, obviously. But yeah, if you want me to make a different video, just ask me.